Happy Halloween, everybody. This is issue 41 of the Classic Routemasters. I am one host, Penny, and this is my co-host, Horlicks.
Hello, everyone.
So
How
how
is
are you?
everyone this Halloween? Hello to Chris Camplin. Cannot wait. Feet with Jay. Hello. Roger Kendall. Hello. God, they're all here. Izzy Harris. Hello. Dave Say. Hello. Who else we got? Dave Milne. Hello.
I've just seen the message from Izzy Harris.
Verwain. Hello. Um, Stuart Sullivan. Hello. And David Thompson. Hello. Sorry if I've missed anyone. I think that's everyone.
Well, that's useful to know. Thank you, David Thompson. He says, thank you. Look out for part 41. Good luck. Oh, I like that. Now, I need to give a big thank you to Adrian, who's very kindly agreed to scan some issues in for us. So this is obviously what happens normally. I scan the issues in so that Horlicks can help me host. Obviously that means that I open the magazine up before the show actually starts, and I like the surprise. I like to open it up not knowing what's going on. So Adrian has very kindly stepped in, who's agreed to scan. Now this week, because it's the first week, I have scanned them in. We will be using Adrian's scans, but obviously if things go wrong, we wouldn't have had a backup. So I have opened the magazine, um, just in case things went wrong. But it turns out I didn't need to. And my first thought, if you remember the picture from last week showing this week, I've got to confess, I didn't think. Let me switch my camera and I'll give you a close up. I'm going to do a cheat and close up. Right, I didn't think there was going to be a lot to do because if you look at most of this, we've already done it. The only thing I could see there that's different was this wire. So when I received this morning, I was almost overwhelmed. So loads to do. So I think we're going to have to crack on because it looks like we've got a lot to do. But other than that, how have you been, Horlicks?
Yeah, I've been okay, not too bad. Just hibernating. It's horrible when the
Oh,
clocks change because it's all, well, I almost go to work in the dark and come home in the dark.
do you know what? I absolutely love it when it gets dark at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Says
No,
no one ever.
I do like it in the evening, and to be fair, because you can go home and it's all snuggly and you just chill out at home. But no, I don't know. It's just I think the mornings are the worst.
I think we're going to disagree, aren't we? I mean, I think it's starting to look a bit Christmassy, and I don't like Christmas in October. I don't really like Christmas in December. I'm a bit of a misery when it comes to Christmas until Christmas Eve.
Mm.
Right, so I'm going to switch you over to Horlicks. No, I'm not going to switch you over to Horlicks. Yeah, we will, because we need to have a look at the parts. So if you could kindly bring up the parts list
Yep.
for us, and then we'll go through it. There we
Okay.
go. So I'm just going to lob all my parts into my little parts tray. There's a lot of small parts I notice. So I'm a little bit worried that I might mislay them, and then I end up thinking they haven't supplied. And I've also got my wires, so we're going to need my multimeter today, and then we'll give them a good old thorough testing. Right, so that's the parts list that we've got, and there's quite a lot.
There is a lot,
Um,
yeah.
so I'm a little bit worried. Although I've been worried before, and it's a case of nothing really to worry about. Now, the camera's going to be out of focus, and the reason it's out of focus is because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the parts up like this so you can have a look at them. And please forgive, I've got some parts in here. I'm still doing my handbrake, but I've got a couple of parts from an orc that I've been painting. And
Okay.
I keep losing parts, so I'm using the parts tray. So,
Okay. So yeah, just before I start, I just want to say hello to Graham Prestwood who's joined us, and Ian. Evening, and Alan Mooney says wife thought we'll be here next Wednesday, and it's also his birthday. Is it your birthday today or next Wednesday? Okay. So you ready? So 41A is the left
Yeah.
near side window.
Okay. And I quite like this packaging. It's almost like shop presentation packaging, isn't it? Do you know I can't get into it? I can't. I can't open it. There we go. Right. So these parts, I'll put them back in the tray they provide us with. So that will be. Oh, that's really hard to get out. The struggle. Oh, it's got glass in it. Oh, I like it. So that is a all plastic part with glass. So I'm going to get the kitchen roll because obviously I wasn't expecting any kind of glass. Well, it's Perspex or acrylic, I suppose it is. And there we go. So obviously I went straight in with my fingers, didn't I? So we'll just give that a bit of a polish because I like my driver's cab to be clear so I can see out of it. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've had such a laugh today with my mask. I've scared two managers, and she didn't get the reference, but I had one customer. She said, "Where is this bus going?" I just couldn't resist, so I just put the mask on and I went Georgia, which is a reference for all of you that don't get it. Is a reference to the song "The Devil Went Down to Georgia." So right, so that's that part.
Yep. 41B is the upper front window.
There you go. That's an easier way to get out. So same deal again. Perspex. These are going to need a bit of a wipe actually. They look a little bit oily. There's a bit of a rainbow finish to them. So, but they're very nice. Really happy with those. So I didn't know what we were going to be getting. So there, that's that.
No, yeah, that's what Chris Camplin said last week, didn't he? He
Yeah.
asked. He was wondering if there'd be glass or plastic or nothing.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't imagine them being glass, but
no. Okay. So 41C is the lower front window.
okay. This is the little flap. This is the cooling system for the driver. The air conditioning. If you get a bit hot, you open this window. And if you get very cold, very hot, you just drive faster with the window open.
Yeah.
So same deal again. And
Okay. 41D is the right offside window.
okay. Yeah, like you can see. I don't know if you can see the smears on them, but I do need a bit of a wipe. A lint-free cloth would be a lot better as opposed to a piece of kitchen roll, but a kitchen roll is a close second. There we go. Okay. Might get some Windoline on those. Right, so that's those parts.
Okay.
I can see polishing your windows, Horlicks.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so 41. Well, I'll do this together. 41E and 41F is the
Yep.
right and left flaps.
Now, these are metal, and these look superb. Really nice. These are really nice little metal parts. So they can go. The other one's the same. I don't know if they are the same. Now this one's got an angle to it. It looks in the magazine like it's meant to. So that's fine. That's those.
Okay, 41G is a hinge.
Okay, I've got so many little bags and bits of things, and I don't know. Could that be it? Yeah, that's it. Oh, there's right. If when you open this bag, I don't know if this is a part yet. Yeah, it is a part, but that little piece fell out. I didn't expect that. So be very, very careful. So here's our hinge, and this feels like it's metal, painted red. Okay.
Okay, I think we're going to need to get a magnifying glass.
Oh, we're getting that way, aren't we?
41H is a handle.
This looks like it's going to be the bonnet handle. But yeah, that's got a proper catch on the end. Look, that's really, really nice. Okay.
Okay, 41i is the clip.
And that's this little bit that I wasn't expecting. So that's a little piece of plastic. And it is, I'll tell you how small it is. What's that about?
Yeah, that's the one that David Thompson made reference to. Look out for part 41i.
Okay, I'm really scared now. Because you know me, I'm kind of a challenge accepted person. But when I've actually seen the challenge, I'm like, okay, help. Okay.
Okay, 41J is a support bar.
Okay, my apologies. I didn't say I didn't describe this well enough. This is actually metal by the feel of it, the handle. Chris Campling's just said is a plastic handle. So yeah, this is another metal part. Oops, try not to drop it. There you go.
So that's a support bar. Okay, so 41K
Right. Okay.
is
So
a C cable.
C cable. Right. So this actually looks like an extension cable. So I don't really know how we're going to test this.
Continuity from each of the colours either end.
Okay. Shall we do it now or shall we go through the parts first?
It's up to you.
Let's test it now. Right. So right, one continuity meter. Right, and did I just lose that wire? I fell on my lap. Right, so most of these have a little bit on the top, so I'm going to have to get my masking tape out. Because obviously we don't want to get all the way to the end and find out these don't actually work. So let's move that out of the way. Let's try and get some neatness in my life. Right, so I tape that end down, and I'm going to try and oops, that's what happens when you buy cheap masking tape. And that, and I want to try and do this so that I can reuse the tape, because coming from Norfolk, I'm so tight. Right, so red wire. Okay, what I'll do is I'll actually select continuity.
Yeah, I was going to say, test it. Always test it. Touch the prongs to make sure you. Yeah, there we go.
Right, that one works. And that one works. So I'm happy with that wire.
Good, brilliant.
I mean, I mean, I've been really lucky. I've not had any problems.
Don't say that.
But yes,
know what happens when
someone I know said that, didn't they? Okay, so the next wire is
right. So 41L, which is a C2 LED cable.
C2 LED. So is there more than one C2? Yes, there is. C. Oh no, hang on. There's a C and a C2.
Yeah, I can see what's going to happen. So the extension's going to go into C where it's labelled C. So the C's will go together, and then the C wire splits off into two. So that's like a splitter. And then obviously the C2 will go into C2 and something else will go into C1 later on.
Oh. I just got a bit else because I touched them together.
Oh yeah, I don't think we'll get continuity on that because it's a bulb.
No, we don't. Oh, I thought we lit. Oh, hang on then. I did something before and we got them to light. I think we put resistance in. I think we have to put them the wrong way round. No, that's not it. Right, how do we do this then?
Oh, I can't remember.
I think it's resistance we do, don't we?
I'm just grabbing my multimeter this end.
I did this before.
Yeah, I did it. I felt, yeah, I
I
remember
did,
because I was doing it as well, and I was like, oh, it lit, and you said, yeah, it did the same thing.
yeah. If you put these on the wrong way, but we only tested one wire before, so
I'm just getting an LED out. I'm gonna put it on.
sorry guys. I mean, it could be that I'm dealing with dead bulbs here.
Right. Okay. No, I did put it on. Sorry, mine's on continuity,
Right,
and that is lighting my single LED bulb here,
right.
providing the terminals are on the correct way.
Saying that, there's two bulbs. I think that's why it's not. I think, oh, I don't know. See, I now don't know if they're working. I actually don't know if they're broken or.
Well, I'm going to try an experiment here. I'm going to get two LEDs and try and power them both.
Right.
Yeah, mine's powering both.
Okay. Right. I I don't know how I'm going to know if these work or not then. So I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to have to go with it then. Unless
I mean, there is a way of testing it, but we might not have time today. But you'll have to use Arduino, set up
that's what I was thinking.
you're going to have to set up a resistor.
Right.
Don't just power it straight up, obviously, unless it's got a resistor built in. But doesn't look like it has.
No, I think the resistor will probably come on the circuitry. Okay, right, guys. So I've not been able to test that because I am going to be honest with you. I'm crap with electronics.
No, I mean it should have worked because obviously I'm trying 3 on the go now to see if 3
Yeah.
light. But yeah, it's definitely on resistance mode, and then it is powering.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's I'll take my chances on this. And
Yep.
when we do come to test, I'm actually going to test the other wire. We've got the multimeter out.
Yeah.
So now theoretically, that shouldn't work. Right, lovely. That shouldn't. That shouldn't. Right. So I'm happy with those wires. Right. So at the very right. Okay. Worst case scenario, these LEDs won't light. If we just remember how these, I mean, I got a feeling these might plug in here today. So we'll know where we know these wires work. So at least we know if they don't put black to com, and red to resist. Okay, you've got right.
Well, this is
Right.
interesting. I've got 4 LEDs on the go with resistance, and the only LED that's lighting up is red. Out of the 4.
Okay.
But if I take the red LED out, I then get green. And then if I take the
Right.
green out, I get the two blues. So yeah, it all
Okay.
depends on the color of those LEDs, I think.
I'm not going to worry about. Yeah, if the color, well, they should be white lights. But if these lights don't work, we know the wires do work. So at least we'll know roughly where it'll work and
Yeah.
where it's broken. So at least then that's something. Okay, so next piece.
Okay, so we've done the wire 41N, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've already tested that. 41O is a sticker as well as 41P.
Okay, and that's a sticker. I don't really know how to describe that. It's a piece of paper with some sticky back on it.
Right.
Actually, we've missed the M out. but that's 41M. But yeah, it's a sticker. It looks a bit like a solar panel. It's got some lines in it, so be intriguing to know what we're going to do with those.
Okay. And
Are we
that
going to
should be
use them
all of
as
the
one
parts.
piece? Okay, guys. So I need to take an interlude. We have, in fact, actually, would you mind doing these screws? Hey, we have a new screw. Right, Right, so we've got nothing but metal screws today. So can we just do the check slowly with the screws?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah. There's 8 lots of screws, isn't there? I just noticed
Yeah, I
them.
know. I know. I need a file. I need a file really badly. Um, because I can't handle that. Right, there we go. We no longer have AM. These are now evening screws. So first ones are,
Okay. So we got SM.
which are brand new screws,
Yeah, and
never before seen on this channel.
you should have 7 of those, and they're red in colour.
Okay. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Watch them go everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lovely.
Brilliant.
Okay, next ones. Oh, let me take that out. So next ones are
screws,
okay,
and
and there's
they
4 of those.
4 of those. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Next.
Okay, NM, and there's 7 red ones.
Okay. Now we have got some NMs from previous issues, but they're black. So I'm guessing that these are the same screw. Just to come on, come on, come on. I couldn't get that out very easily, which is very unusual. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, is that you buzzing there?
I'm buzzing.
Okay, they do actually look like the same screw. Oh, let me get the focus in again. Sorry, I changed it for the wires. There we go. They look the same to me, so that's fine. And obviously,
Was one of those black?
yeah, as I said, there was 3 screws left over from previous
Oh,
issues.
sorry, yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm used to my passengers completely ignoring me all the time.
No, my
So,
sister just messaged me. That was all. That was the buzzing. Okay, so we got TM, and there's 3 of
okay.
those.
And as you can probably tell, that's another brand new screw. I might go through the magazines and have a look at the differences in the screws, because there can't be that many different types of small screw, is there? I mean, evidently there are.
Well, yeah,
And
I
these are
think.
big chunky ones. Big chunky ones. Can you tell I'm really nervous about this issue? When
That'll
one
be
of
all right.
your lovely guests, oh God, this is super glued on. Oh
Yeah, I
no.
noticed that with one of mine. They're using different adhesive, I
Oh,
reckon.
they're not using 3M, they're using 15M. There we go. Right, so 4 screws. They're in there nicely. Okay, who's next then, boss?
Okay, CM, and there's 11
Okay.
of those.
Now, these have a mix of red and black in the pack.
Oh, that's
Now,
interesting.
that is genuinely unusual, isn't
Oh,
it?
no, hang on. I know why. Right. CM, it's got CM twice. You should have 11 black and then
Ah,
3 red.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 black, 3 red. Okay, so you're right if we just put these together?
Yeah, yeah. So
Because
that,
obviously, if
I assume, so that answers the question. That they are all the same, but obviously some are painted red,
yeah.
some aren't.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, it didn't matter if they gave us AMs and CMs in the same pack if they're different colours. because obviously you can tell the difference between a red
Yeah.
AM and a black CM, or whatever it might be. Okay, so the next one is
FM,
the famous FMs.
and they should be five of those.
There are indeed five by coincidence. I've got about 50 in there. Because the disadvantage with this is you can't do a screw count because obviously you just look at what you've got left. Okay, and the last pack?
GM, and then you should have two of those.
There are indeed two. Oh no, this glue is obviously not very good compared to the other one. Sorry, here we are. We're rating the quality of the glue on the stickers for the screws. That's how sad we've become.
No, I mean I did notice as well. It was when I was trying to undo my packets on my last build, and I was like, "What? They just seem more sticky than normal."
Yeah, yeah. Guys, I'm just going to take a very quick interlude. I just need to blow my nose.
Do 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 do. I bought
Good to
some
see you
3-in-1
again.
oil the other day, so I'll be using that in future to do the screws. Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I had the same. I mean, someone messaged me about it, and I think I had another comment actually from. I had an email from someone saying that they were using washed up liquid, and the screws are in an awful state. So I don't know what's happened. I mean, mine all seem okay. I can't see any issues with mine, but I have got some 3-in-1 oil as well, so I'm going to use some of that. I think
I might look at that then. I'm sure I
just in
could probably
case.
pick some up from the depot. I do.
Yeah,
I
well,
stick
in
quite.
in in 20 liters.
Well, yeah. I'll just take. I'll take take a little bottle down there and go. I have some oil, please.
Yeah, I suppose any oil. I
Right.
suppose you could use engine oil or anything, couldn't you?
I did notice this little bit at the top. Not all parts are used in this issue. Two of the cables are fitted in the next issue, so that's obviously going to go into the parts tray. So yeah, I don't know if there's anyone didn't notice that. So don't be alarmed if you've got leftover pieces. Right. So would you like to tell us all about stage one?
Okay, so stage one, I need to expand.
Would you like me to do the interlude music then as well?
Yeah, I did that.
Ding,
Oh, you have.
ding. Whoa! I've just had an avalanche of equipment.
Right. So you need to first of all. Right, it says right. First of all, it says hold the windows by the frames to avoid getting finger marks on the window panes.
Which is what I didn't
Um,
do when I checked them.
and then it says take the cabin frame 40A and the left window 41A. Identify the fixing points on the frame and the window, and fix the window in place with 6 SM screws.
Okie dokie.
Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? Getting the windows on.
Yeah. When I'm cleaning windows. Right. Okay. So we have got the part from last week, obviously, and that sat very nicely in that box. I thought that was a rather good idea I came up with, using the base as a lid and vice versa. But now I can't open the box. There we go. I've got a feeling that might go back in that box at the end of this build. So I'll keep that box safe just in case. I might start using gloves now because we've got some really nice bodywork. Right, so we are looking for the side with the pipe on it, which is this side. Oh, do you know what? I can't find my kitchen roll, and I now need it. There we go, this scrap bit. Because you remember last week, I didn't want to keep putting my part down on the cutting mat just in case I got it scratched.
I mean, another thing you could do is I don't know whether that would sit in that plastic tray while you worked on the top of that.
Could do, but I'll carry on working it like this. We'll see what happens. Right, so I'm after a double window, which is this one, and obviously it's certain parts are going to fit in and that one's too small, that's way too small, that's the wrong shape, so it can only be this one. So hand length from the edge. I want to see if there's a correct, I think that's the correct way, and that makes sense to me because if you turn it this way it's smooth, whereas if you turn it this way you've got a little ridge which will be the outer body frame. So I would say raise side up. Let's have a look, see if it will actually go. No, it won't even go. There we go. Because of the screws there, there is only one way it'll go in, and that's with the little raised edges up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a nice simple part. But what's scary now is that's acrylic.
Oh
And you know, I've
God, yeah.
never broken a piece of acrylic, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to. So I've just located a good screwdriver bit.
I suppose you'll be
And
careful as well because if the screwdriver slips,
yeah.
you're gonna have a
Oh
bad time.
God. Gonna have a bad time.
But it'd be very
Whoa.
unusual if you slip because you're normally
Well,
very delicate.
I'll be honest with you, I have slipped a couple of times, but the way I hold my screwdriver, and I can't really describe it, I kind of I hold it in such a way that I can kind of release easily, and I don't press that hard either. So if I react quickly, now I've put dollops of washing up liquid, but I'm just going to give them a quick touch with kitchen roll because I don't want that spreading onto the windows. When you're placing a metal part onto it, it won't be seen, but obviously we've got a window. So if I get too much washing up liquid, it's going to end up smearing all over the window. Did any of that actually make sense?
Was that unusual, Horlicks?
What, for me
Did,
making sense? Probably
no,
wasn't.
it's just Stuart Sullivan's last message. Did it? Does he get the reference? Do you know? Does he know about the reference?
Stuart Sullivan gets the reference, yes.
Yeah.
I will confess I had a wonderful chat with Stuart the other day. We It was meant to be a quick 5-minute chat. Orlix probably knows the answer to this because he knows how much I can talk. But would you like to say how long we went on for, Stuart? Right, that hole is just ever so slightly smaller than the screw. So it's obviously going to cut into the acrylic. Right, and that is been placed in just so that it's in. It's not in fully. And I would really strongly advise. Oh, I've got two screws stuck together there. There we go. I would strongly advise screwing one in all the way. I've seen some people, they go, and in they go. We know this is a very delicate part. So we need to treat it as such. And it's so delicate that if I do block the camera with my screwdriver, I'm not even going to apologize. It's just I want to get this done so it doesn't break. So spread the screws out.
2 hours, Penny. Yeah, sounds about right.
What's that? Oh yeah, yeah. I think it was actually longer than that. I think he's being rather generous. Okay. So just be careful. You know, I basically, if we ever run out of time when we're building this, that's fine. We'll just stop and we'll continue it the next week because we know that we will get issues where there isn't a lot to do. And say if we take more than we did have one that was really long, was it issue 29?
Mm, I think it. Yeah, I think it was around there.
Yeah. So as I say, if we don't finish this in the time I've got, and I really can't go on for too long tonight because I've got a 6:30 start, which is nasty. Right, so as you see, my screws aren't fully in. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to really take my time and be very gentle. And I'm just going to give them, oh, there you go, push the perspex down a little bit. When you see the screw hole meet the perspex, you know you're either very close or there. And these screws will tell you when they're in enough. You just build a rhythm and there. That's kind of said. You can push it in a bit more, but this will do. And be careful here because I'm just pushing on that tax disc. Oops. There you go. That's had enough on that one. And find a comfortable position. It doesn't matter what that position is. But obviously I wouldn't screw them in that way because you're going to risk bending this. So I've got it up on the top. I mean, notice I'm moving the part. This is very similar to when I'm doing airbrushing. I'm painting as well. I'm moving the pot around as well as the paintbrush. It's all about getting a good position. This one, be a bit careful because I can't get it straight on, the part is at an angle. So when this one, there we go, that didn't quite go in. So I've pushed it and now it's exposed more of the screw. So by pushing that piece of perspex with your thumb, it's kind of showing you how much I am in focus. That makes a change, doesn't it? There we go. There we go. And I think we're nearly there.
Stuart Sullivan's asking what head you're using.
I'm using the CRVJ000. It's actually the second piece on. Let me get it out actually. So I've got number 2, and it's the second one in. So on this, it's labeled J000. You do need to give it a little bit of force, otherwise the head will pop out. And obviously you're going to risk taking some of the red off the screw. But other than that, it's fine. I would say that's quite good. I'm happy with that. So this one we haven't. This one's going to be an awkward one as well. Okay. Right. Now, I'm going to ask you the only question that matters. I'm not happy with this. There we go. Right. Have a little look around. See here it's flush. There it's all flush. There it's sticking up a little bit. So I'm just going to push that in and I just see that's exposing a tiny bit more of that screw. Now, the only question that matters here is, are you happy? Okay? Be selfish, be mean. If someone else doesn't like it and you're happy with it, that's all that matters. I'm not quite happy with that because it's just sticking out slightly, but not a massive amount. So I think, no, that's not it. So I can push that in. All right. Oh, there we go. All right, let's push that in. So now I am happy with that. Okay. Don't want to overdo it. And I mean, like you see, that's beautiful. If you're not happy with it, it doesn't really matter because it's my build. Okay.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And it really does make the difference. Look, I mean,
Yeah.
there it looks nice, but there it looks so much better.
Mm.
Okay, so the
Brilliant.
next stage then, would you?
Yeah, so you need to turn the cabin frame round so you can fit the right window now. 41D. Identify the fixing points. The pegs on the inside of the window fit into sockets in the recess in the frame of the cab. Fit the window in place. Note these are push fit connections.
Oh
Oh,
no, push fits.
so this is a push fit window. I wonder why it's so different.
Ah, because I don't know. I'm trying to make some creative reason for this, but I can't think of anything. Um, I really don't know.
Hmm.
Cannot think. Now, be careful here, guys, because you've got the pipe on this side, so you don't really want to put it down like that. But we're gonna let me get the part first, which is I'm gonna guess it's this one because of the shape of the other two. And then what I'll do is I will carefully try not to touch the side you've done unless you want to clean up finger marks. So just give that a little dry fit. That's fine. Oh, I don't like that. Look, not liking that at all. Right. I'm trying it from two different directions and that fits both directions. So just have a little visual look then. I'm actually happy either side. Oh, I just pushed that. Right, look, that's not a good push fit connection. That's awful. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. I take that back. I apologize. That actually is a good fit, push fit. It goes in and it looks like it's in, but then you've got to give it a little push. Now, I've done this side, and that maybe that's why, because it's going to go in a little bit further. Right, you've got three locating pegs there. One, two, three. The middle one, I've got little fingernails. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my fingernails. I'm going to make sure they both go over the little lug, and I'm just going to gently push that in, and then I'm going to get it there, and I'm going to push that in, and then I'm going to get the last one, and that's gone in. If you knock it, push it in between the two, you could risk breaking the lugs, and that is actually very, very good. So yeah, I take back that my initial thought was that I didn't like it, but once I pushed it a little bit more, I think that's very hard to get out. The only way I'm going to get that out is to remove that window and then push something through and push the lugs. So, but there's no gaps, nothing. That is, as they would say in Wales, that's a tidy fit. And the colour match, I cannot fault that. Cannot fault that at all. You wouldn't know that one part, here we go, I just said it, haven't I? One part is Perspex painted and the other part is metal painted. Can you tell the difference?
Hmm. Not at all. It's really good.
Right, really happy with that then. Very happy.
Ian said it could cause interference with the door sliding with the screws.
Yeah, that could be it. So,
Okay, so step 3. We're going to take the upper front window, 41B, identify the 3 fixing points, working from the inside this time, fit the window, 41B, to the cabin frame, 40A, fix in place with 3 black CM screws.
okey
The inset shows the window in place.
Right, sorry, I'm just testing screw heads because these look a different size than the last one. Oh, that's too big. Oops, I didn't push the rubber bit back in. Right. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, guys, I'm just Ah, right. Okay. So I've switched my. Oops. Sorry, I realised I'm not on camera. I've just switched my head out to the J1, which is the one that I seem to use the most. J1 is quite a wide one. It's not quite so deep, but it just seems to fit that screw a lot better. So let's have a look. So it's pretty obvious which one we're going to use because it's asking us to use 3 cm screws, and this one's only got 3 holes in it. So let's have a look. And like I can see 3 lugs there, one there, and one there. So that's obviously which way round we're going to get the window. So that's wrong, and that's correct. And obviously, oh, I see. Right. I think it's going to, oh, there also we've got 2 little holes at the top there. So we've got a little recessed panel so it fits in there nicely. And guess what I didn't do? Oops. So yeah, I'll have a little chat with our engineers. I'll say, would anyone like a coffee? Then when they say, lovely coffee, Penny, I'll go, can I have some 3-in-1 oil?
Yeah, you'll have to take one of those dropper bottles in for him.
Yeah. Please, sir, can I have some more? Right. So this is a nice one to work with because I can place it windscreen face down. So again, remember we're working with perspex, so we need to be very careful. Treat it even more precious than glass. And that's struggling to go in. No, it's not. That's gone in fine. It's you kind of got to break through the surface, and once you do, it's okay. Just getting it into the metal bit. Remember, these are M screws, so they're for metal. Okay, so now I've got them all in just enough to bite, and I'm just going to turn them slowly, and then it will tell me when it's had enough. You can actually get quite a lot of turns, a lot more than I expected. Oops, I've just accidentally pulled this bit out. There we go. I think I'm doing a different screw here. There we go. So it'll be turn, 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 and then all of a sudden it'll go, no, don't want to know. There we go. And that's not going anywhere. I'm not sure if I'm liking the screw holes because it looks like they might be on show, but you know, we'll see. We'll see. I need some kind of degreasing spit for this. I'll be forever polishing these windows, won't I? Okay, so what's the next stage then?
Okay, so step 4, you need to take the lower front window 41C and the
Oh, are we on?
hinge.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
and the hinge 41G. Fit the peg on the window, circled in light blue, into the socket in the hinge, and then fit the peg on the other side of the window into the socket on the edge of the cabin frame, as indicated by the light blue dotted line. Then fix
right.
the hinge in place with 2 red NM screws.
Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we are working from the outside. Okay, I can't see. Ah, I see. So there's a little bit there. That's where it's going to go into. So we're going to be placing that into there, and then the hinge goes on. I don't know if that's the right way around yet. I suspect not. I think that's the correct way. So that's going to go in like that. And thinking about it now, do a little dry fit because that's a bit of a struggle to go in. That's actually okay. Right, so oh, I like that bit. I really do. So you know me, it's the little bits that I like opening windows and right. That's gone in okay, but I can't seem to take it out easily, so I'm not going to. Um, which I shouldn't really have put that window in first. So we have got a locating peg, and we've got. Sorry, let me take the autofocus off. Right, we've got a locating peg and two screw holes. You see that locating peg is off center, and then I can see that where it's going to go into, the hole is off center. So I need to line that up. So it's going to go that way. And there is room for maneuverability on this window. So just lift up. Don't lift it up any more than you need to. And then we can locate that there. And we know what I've forgotten, don't we? So don't put that window in until you're ready. Because you can see I'm having a bit of a bad time here because I just done. I probably could take that window out, but I don't. I'm just really scared. I've never broken Perspex, but I'm scared of it. Maybe that's why I've never broken it. So there are two different types of NM screw. I can see from the magazine that it's a red one. It's going to be visible from the outside. And I've actually got a screw. There we go. I'm going to go back to the J treble O.
Stuart, I am on. I've done issue 18, so my next delivery will be 19, 20, 21, and 22. And then I've already got 23, 24, 25, 26 on my shelf here because they sent them weeks ago.
They're the ones I'm actually looking forward to because then you'll have caught up to where we were when you first started the show with me. Oh, that's not want to go in. I think there's quite a lot of paint and it's having to cut through the paint. Right, that's fine. That's only in just enough just to get it started. And again, watch that pipe. The natural tendency is to put this that way because this is the side you're working on, but then you're going to end up. Oh no! How'd that happen? Oh, that's okay. That's fine. I thought I had a scratch across there, but it's not. It's I've got a mark on there which it rubs off. Cool. I freaked out then.
I don't know whether it's a myth, but I hear toothpaste is quite good to polish plastic.
Do you know what? I've heard that. The best method, which is very scary. Sorry, I've gone beyond the locate the point where it's just in, and I'm just screwing until it wants to stop. Yeah, the method that I use, which is very scary, is files. And I'm not going to encourage anyone to do it. Look at that. But also you get those but I know most of you are guys, so you probably wouldn't have used it, but you can get these nail buffing pads and it brings your nails up to a shine to the point that it looks like you've got nail varnish on. And that's actually how I did some of these. Well, you can't see it now, but I file it with a rough sandpaper or emery board or something. Micro mesh. I think micro mesh is the same kind of principle, and you just keep using increasingly finer sandpaper until you get to a point where it doesn't even seem to scratch it. It more polishes it. These are the marks that I thought was a scratch, but it turns out that it's not. So a bit of relief there. I might have got a hair or something. Whoops, and I've just put a fingerprint all over it. That's my kind of thing. I'll be washing my windows, and just as I get to the last one, I'll sneeze or something, and I've got to start all over again. Right.
Yeah, I was going
Okay.
to say that
So
hinge does look and work good. Like it's just enough, like tension there to keep the window open.
yeah, look, you can open it to any position you want.
I suppose with lots of opening and closing, eventually that'll probably wear down and
I was just about to say that. Yeah. Find a position you like. I would put it something like that to show that it opens. But yeah, that's probably how I'll have mine. Well, for now, I'll have it closed because if I should knock it, I then don't need to worry. Okay, would you like to describe this next bit, which to me looks quite complicated?
Oh, good golly.
Did I just jump in there too quick?
Right. So, oh God, yeah. So you need to take the two flaps, um, 41E and 41F. Please note is viewed from the inside of the cabin. The left flap, 41S, is more tapered than the right flap. So that's the differences we saw when we
That
were,
was something that we mentioned at the beginning,
yeah.
wasn't it? I wasn't sure.
Um, right, so you need to feed the front edge of each flap through the slot at the top of the openings in the cab frame. 40A. When the flaps are in place, fix each one with two NM screws. The inset below shows the flaps fixed in place. View from inside the cab.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually making a lot of sense now.
Oh, I get
Right.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so what we've got then, and I think the important picture is that one on the right because it's showing us.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. That doesn't matter. As soon as I saw that picture, it made sense.
Yeah. So, right. So we've got a tapered one and we've got a big square one. And I can now see that's where the tapered one goes, and that's where. So I'm going to do the tapered one first, and I think it's. Oh God, no, this one's not moving. Right, okay. Move your flaps to make sure they do actually work. And it looks like, if someone can correct me here, I'm going to open that flap right up to give me more room, and I'm going to screw it in like that. Sorry, guys, I can't get the light and the camera all working together. Right, so that's going to go in like that, and then when we've finished, or is it going to go in like? No,
I
I
think you have
have
to
to.
feed the flap through the hole and then secure the back from the inside. That's what I'm seeing.
Oh, I see. So that comes in like that. So these flaps are going to be visible on the outside.
Yeah.
Okay, I might need another interlude for this.
Right, let me just skip forward, see if there's a picture later on in the magazine that we could reference. Right, finished views. There you go.
This is hard. Yeah, right. So that hinge wants to be right. Okay, see if the other side is easier. Yeah, okay. I can see what's happened. Right. So what's sorry, I just realized I've right, okay, I can see why I'm struggling now. Right. So this one, that went through no problems, and that comes out no problems. This one I'm struggling with. So I can now I'm looking, I can see there's a little bit of flash. So what I'm gonna
I
do,
was going to say try and push it through from the inside out.
yeah,
That might work.
these I think are ventilation for the driver. I might be wrong. Right, so let me double check. Right, so I've got a needle file, one it's square, but it's got a little file on the edge, and that's the bit I'm going to use. And I'm going to give that a tiny rub, not too much. I've just got a little bit too much paint. That's what the problem is. Still not fitting.
Yeah, there's the inside feed from the inside out.
I'm trying not to scratch that. I just want to get. In fact, to be honest with you, a knife might do this. There we go. Oh, that would help if I got the right one, wouldn't it? Okay. Ah, there we go. That's gone in fine. Right. So I didn't take much off there. It was about four. There you go. Now it's gone in perfectly. So I'll do a dry fit to show you what I'm up to. And then I'll take them out and I'll put them in again. So now all of a sudden this one doesn't want to fit in. Why is that? There we go. Right. So, oh, these don't want to stay without the screws in. Right. So what you're going to end up with is two little flaps on the front, and then these can open up. I'm assuming it's to do with airflow because it's going to get hot in that cab. So that don't want to come out. Right. So what we're doing it from this side, but what if we turn it round, what we're actually doing is we're taking this and we're feeding it from that way, and then we're bringing it round. Okay? And then that will give us these there. Does that make sense? I think I'm struggling to explain it. So
Yeah, I mean, that does work, but I'm reading it fitting from the inside out. But
it
so I
is.
don't
What it means
suppose.
by is they're actually being screwed on the inside. So that's why I'm facing down.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
need to,
sorry, look, if I explain myself a bit better, what I mean is if you open the flap, I
yeah.
think what I'm meaning is you push the flap through the inside out.
Okay.
I
That
think
could
that
equally
works
work.
the same way. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I'm reading it. But either way works, doesn't it? I suppose it depends on what you're comfortable with.
I think I would rather have fed them from the front in. So that's what it's going to look like from the side you work. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Focus. Right. So this is what it's going to look like from the side that I'm working. I'm holding it like that. And then the hinge, I'm holding the flap with the hinge towards me, and I'm going to feed it in like that. Now, if I show you from the other side, what you're going to do, you've got the hinge away from you, and we're going to go straight down, and then we're going to bring it round so the flap comes down. Okay, does that make sense? And I think it's going to be easier if I whop all three in one. What are we going to call three in one? We need an affectionate nickname for it.
Oil,
That's a bit boring, isn't it? Oil it.
call it lub.
Lub.
We could lub it up.
Missed it. Lub it up. Lube it up. No, don't even go there with that one. Why are we so rude on this show?
It's not rude.
Right,
Lubrication.
so I'm just supporting it with my with one of my fingers.
Olive.
Olive. I was thinking olive actually. Right. So I'm just going to screw this in just enough to get a bite. And then I'm going to chuck on screws everywhere now. Give up on that one. I don't want to know yet.
Trial and error. TO 3 in 1. Yeah, we could call it TO.
Right. Do you know, while I'm here, I'm going to put the other one in as well, and then I'll tighten them both up. So again, that's coming from that side. So I'm supporting it with my finger. Obviously, once I've got that screw in, then I don't need to support it anymore. Am I still okay with focus? So couple of turns. That one don't want to find a hole.
Fleetwood J's just put lube and move the flaps. I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, yeah, this sounds like a bit of a naughty show. I just hope that one of the guys at work has threatened to watch my show tonight. And I hope he's not actually watching tonight. Oh, how are we doing for viewers? Because we hit a record last week, didn't we?
We are on 50.
Really? Wow, because we hit
Like last week.
47 last week. Right,
Yeah.
so there you go. They're in just enough to bite.
51.
So, following the same old boring procedure, I'm going to turn those slowly until it tells me when to stop. And there it is. And this one, you can kind of see when it's about to stop, but nice and slow. And there you go. Now, for the more observant ones of you, I actually turned this one a little bit too quick, and then the screwdriver jumped. Whereas this one I turned slowly. Now, I was lucky the screwdriver jumped this way, but it could have easily have jumped that way. And that's a sharp point, and that's a piece of perspex. Although that is a flap, so we might have got away with that. So turn it slowly once you get towards the end.
Kevin Peachy. Yeah, call it Olive after Olive Oil. Yeah, or Olive out of on the buses.
Well, the majority speaks on this channel, so 3 in 1 is now going to be called Olive then. I'll tell you what, we're going to get new viewers, and we're going to get we're going to be calling it Olive, and they're going to be going, Olive, what the hell is that?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so let's have it. Whoops, let's have a little test of the flaps. So check my flaps are flapping, which they are. They look like little eyebrows now, don't they? Roger Moore. Oh, thank you, Miss Moneypenny. I think I'll use that one. Thank you, Miss Moneypenny.
Oh, I've just had a brilliant idea.
Oh, you and your ideas.
Yeah.
That's going to be again. I would have these open because I can imagine they're going to be quite difficult to get to. So there we go. Poor. Actually, that's not too difficult so far. No, it was. It looks to me. Can I have a look at your instructions, Horlicks? Can we just have a little? Oh, sorry, Horlicks. I didn't mean to do that.
What's that?
Section 5. If you could do a close up on those screws, they to me look red, and there are enough red screws to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do think they're red. Does look good.
Yeah, it doesn't say to use red, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Johnson Hadel says, am I building no, I'm not. I've got to be honest with you. There's 2 reasons why I'm not building it. One is I'm building the Harley Davidson, which is a little bit more me. And I'm going to lose 25% of my viewers here and say I'm no longer a Rossi fan. I'm a real big Marquez fan. I think the guy is excellent. He's looked up to Rossi and said Rossi is the one to beat. I'm going to study him. I'm going to learn his technique, and I'm going to improve on it. And that's exactly what he's done. And I think the guy is going to go far. So yeah, I'm not really a Rossi fan. I know I've just sworn there, but yeah, that's why I'm not interested in Rossi's bike. And I'm more of a Honda fan anyway. So anyway, with that, shall we have a look at the next section?
Yeah, okay.
I'm just checking the viewers. Ooh,
yeah, I mean, I would like to build the Yamaha bike,
Yeah,
but it's just yeah, I've got enough builds
yeah,
on the
I've
go.
got
I
too
can't
much
afford
on, and
to.
this the R2's just is sucking money at the moment.
But it's certainly something I may pick up later on, in pack form perhaps.
Yeah, it's a model space model, so it'll always be there. That's how I've got the Millennium Falcon, and the Harley. They'll be there.
Hmm.
So
Okay,
right,
so step 6. Now it says before we start, support the front grille assembly from behind as you attach it to the cabin. Okay, so you need to take the front grille assembly from issue 2.
wow,
So
we're
you're gonna have to
using up
delve
issue
on the shelf,
2. Yeah, already done.
uh, and then align the 3 fixing points on the front of the cabin 40A with the screw sockets along the top edge of the offside headlight panel.
Okay.
2A, fix in place with 3 screws.
Okay. So I've just given it a quick polish with a t-shirt, and just so that I can pretend that I've kept this in pristine condition for the last 39 weeks. As you can see, look, lovely. I look after it so much. It's lovely and clean. Not been cleaned with my t-shirt at all. Right. So let's see what other kind of a hash I can make of this. So I'm going to place this down like that. And what can I just show me that instruction again? Can you right, if you look at the top center, you can make out the handle.
Yeah,
That's what I'm using for an orientation guide. So I'm going to have the handle is going to be up there. So that's going to go something like that. Um, there we go. I had it the wrong way round. So now I can clearly, right. So we've got on the cab, we've got fixing point, fixing point, fixing point. To view it from the front, can you see them there? So that's going to go straight down as though he's crashing into the table. And on the front grille, which be careful, it's heavier this side, you've got point there, point there, point there. So going to line that up like so, and I'm going to try and be a bit clever. I'm going to take my parts tray and I'm going to turn it upside down, slip that underneath the kitchen bowl. Oh, perfect. And that's now given me, if you look at these, you see that the cab is in, there's a little gap. So if I have that on the floor, on the surface, I've now popped something under there, so it's now going to fit. So that's going to make it easier for me to work with. I'm going to have to move my camera to get a little bit of a closer view. Okay, so that's my test fit. Right, now this bit here is going to want to go on top of that bit there. And this bit there is going to want to go on top of there. But if you get the screws lined up, it probably will go fine. Okay, now I can't get any better angles than that, but you see it's flush. Oops, it's flush there and flush there, and that is absolutely amazing fit. I'm really happy with that. So we'll get my olive. Not really.
yeah.
It won't fit in the box
And
now.
then
Yes.
don't forget it also, as you know, as I said beginning, it says support the front grille assembly from behind as you attach it to the
Well,
cabin.
that's why I put it on the floor, on the surface. So I'll see how this goes. But I will need to support it. Right. Okay. So my first screw is going to be there because this hole there and this hole there won't need quite so much support. This one, there's enough room under there to get my finger under. So I'll get my first screw and I'm going to change my head again back to the J1. I can tell it's going to be a J1 without even looking.
Fleetwood said he's still waiting for the Volkswagen camper to be launched.
Yeah, someone said it was October the 29th, which was a couple of days ago, which in all fairness is a funny date because they seem to be.
Who needs a
Sorry.
who needs a who needs a part work when you've made one, like myself? I show it off at the end of the stream.
Yeah. Oh, we've both got things to show off, haven't
I've
we?
had 2 orders for that camper van.
Fantastic. Isn't it
Already.
nice? I'm working on a project. Well, I'm working on my project, but I'm also myself and Stuart. Can I say Stuart? Will you allow me to? Right. So that screw is in just enough to bite. So then I'm going to work on the outer one, the other outer one, and I think I'm going to might have to turn this round. Peter from Fleet. Are you any relation to Fleetwood, Jay? Right. My particular support isn't going to be enough. It's lifted it up too high, so I am going to have to move it onto my finger. And that's in. So I would say that's now the hardest bit to do. You've got the 2 screws. They're not in fully. Right. This enables us just to check the fit. And it's not looking so good now. But I think once we get those screws in, it'll slip in. So let's get that 3rd screw in. Just enough to bite. Right, so let's have a look at the fit. Can you see how it's going to fit? It's not in tight, but it's going to fit. I'm in love with this bus. I love it so much. That is amazing. So let's slowly screw this in. That's in. I can feel that there is so much that can go wrong here. So I've said it a lot, but I'm really underlining it in big double line red pen. Please go slowly here. I'm really taking my time here. I don't know how long we've been doing this. We've been doing this nearly an hour and a half. Well, call it an hour. But, I say it every single week. We've got all the time in the world to do this.
Yeah.
But really, honestly, go slowly here because there's a slight gap there, but I'm really not going to worry about that. But can you see how the cab is sat on top of the corner there? And that is pretty flush. This bit's gone onto there pretty flush. So happy, happy, happy. And we're now using parts. This is part 1, isn't it? Part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm happy that I love this. I'm sorry, but I can stop here now and I could be happy. It's really, you can see what it is. It's got that old-fashioned British look about it, isn't it? It's a British manufacture. I'm seeing Mini in there. I'm seeing London Taxi. You know what I mean about the general styling. I'll just answer that question. Now the plastic box will, but yeah. So Johnson Hazel says, what seat material covers will you be used on the build? I honestly, genuinely don't know, but the driver's seat was plastic, and I think that was extremely appropriate too. So they weren't built, especially for the driver. They're not built to any. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to have to test my screwdriver rate. See, this is a bit loose. So. Remember, when I built this with a Routemasters screwdriver.
Yeah, mine was loose there as well, actually, Penny. And I've tried my.
I think everyone's reported it being loose.
Yeah, I've
but
tried
I think
my
once we
new
get
screwdriver.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I tried my new screwdriver and it didn't actually make it any tighter.
No, it hasn't with this. It might have been that I've rung it a little bit, but I think by the time we get the rest of it in,
Yeah.
I think that'll be absolutely fine. Uh, how long to bonnet attached? Yeah, good question. Right. Okay. So the
Okay, so
fun bits.
yeah, step 7. So we're going to be fitting the
Ah,
LEDs. So
oh, electronics. I don't like them.
fit the LED, fit the LEDs on the end of C2. Right, fit the LEDs on the end of C2 LED cable 41L into the offside reflectors. Notice how the insulated wires leading directly from the LED are bent in slightly different ways, circled in blue.
No, no, they're not. They don't look bent in slightly different ways to me.
Oh, and then it also says one is slightly
They
longer as well.
ah. Okay. No, no, they're not. Let me double check. Right, C2. Well, there's only one LED cable.
Yeah, that is the right one.
C2.
So one should be shorter than the other, and then they should have front angles positioned. But I mean, the angles don't matter too
Well,
much because you can do that.
there is not. Yeah, actually. Oh God, that wasn't meant to happen, was it? Cheap Chinese electronics. Look. Okay, that's fine. That's pushed back in. They've actually come out.
Yeah, they should.
Right. I need to just double check this with the magazine. Make sure I've not put it in that way. Oh God. Right. Sorry. Bear with me a sec. Sorry, guys. I'm.
You should be able to when you pull that out, those
Right.
metal clips. There should be on the actual clips. Um, there should be like a little pointy uppy bit on one side.
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
What?
that is the side that obviously goes through the two cutouts in the actual plug.
Yeah.
Um, so you may be able to get your blade and just carefully lift the two pins up, and then when you push those wires back in, it should click into place. Then it won't fall off.
Oh, what you mean there? You mean I've pushed them
Yeah,
in with the multimeter? To
yeah,
be honest, they are quite stiff in there. But what I'm checking is that I've got that round the right way. If I've got it the wrong way round,
yeah. That's why you'll know by the position of the pins if you take the white
yeah.
bit off.
But if you look on the magazine, you can see you can't really see it, but the you've got the open bit there, as opposed to that is all white, and then you've got the green wire on the top and the red on the bottom. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so right, try and do this carefully. What I've done is I've take the wires from the bottom and then I'll pull them through, and it looks to me like there is one that's slightly shorter. So I'm going to go with this one. Does it say the one that is slightly longer before being bent goes into the side light
Reflector.
reflector? Right. So that's the side light reflector. The shorter one goes into the headlight reflector to E. Right. So I've got this, the longer one, what the one that I think is the longer one is in my hand. And this is going to be quite difficult because there's not too much space to work in. But that's going to go in like so. And I hope this is right because we may not get another shot. And that's going to push in there. Right. Okay. That's quite hard to push in. Um, Let me just check this one. I think I've got them the wrong way. No, I don't know. I do not know. No, because that one's stiff as well. Right. So this is my longer one, and that's going to push in. Now, what I've done, I'm sorry, I'm going to struggle to show you this properly. I'm holding, right, I'm holding the LED either side, but I've got most of the grip on the fat bit of the LED, and I'm going to push down. In fact, actually, I might be able to do this with my tweezers. Yeah, right. So put your tweezers too far in. You see how I've got it right in, and I've got them quite far in, and then squeeze, and then push on the tweezers. Ah, that's gone in perfect. Okay, did that make sense? What we've got is, imagine these are the wires. We've put the tweezers in like that as far as we go, and then we've squeezed to give a grip, and then we've pushed down there, and then that's put pressure there. But there's either side of the wire, you've got the LED. It's really hard to explain. If I can do better with this one, let's get a really close focus. Right. Okay, so there's our wire. Can you see how the lines effective? Let's get this further out. That's too close, isn't it? Right. So the two wires have effectively drawn a line through the middle of the LED. So what we've done, or what I've done, is I've grabbed them with the tweezers like that. Yeah? Can you see that? And then I've pushed there as well, and that's giving me something to push. So this one isn't going to be so hard to do. The hole is a little bit bigger. I'm actually a little bit worried. I'm really worried that that's going to fall out because that is so loose. Look. So I'm a tad okay. I'm not going to worry about that because I didn't read the bottom bit, did I? I wasn't listening to you, Horlicks. Right. Johnson, I will respond to that bit in a bit. Right. I think this wire is going to need bending. But are you still there, Horlicks?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you'd disappeared for.
No, no, no.
I thought maybe you made a cup of tea because I know it takes you a few days to make a cup of tea, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, sorry. So this is gonna go into there. Right, the short goes into the headlight reflector. Remember to take great care when gently bending the wires. Hold the LEDs in place with stickers 41M. So I'm going to, could you get me a close up of the picture in the top right, please? Right, I'm going to position my wires exactly like that. I'm going to bend them that way. So this one is going to need to come. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to burp then. Right, now, the faster you bend these, the more heat it's going to generate and the easier it's going to be to snap. I've just bent that very gently, like so. And then there's going to ask for a little sticker there. And this one looks like it wants to bend upwards. So
Yeah.
it's going to try and join its friend. Well, I don't know if they are friends actually. So I'm pushing slightly down to keep the LED from popping out, but I'm bending it slowly. The slower you bend it, the less heat it's going to generate, the less chance it's going to have of breaking. and I can actually see that's got a solder joint on it. So it is not the end of the world if it breaks.
Yeah.
So let's start with the small sticker. Now I think someone said that these stickers aren't very good. Was it Adrian? Someone in the Facebook group. And I don't like stickers. So fiddly to get the back. And saying that, I've just done that with ease. I am struggling. Here we go. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bunch these wires together as close as I can. But actually, I'm going to apply the sticker with the tweezers. Oh, I've bent the tweezers. Right. Can you see that all right? No, you can't. Right, so I'm going to just try and get these two wires as close as I can. I'm going to pop. Actually, it might be easier if I lift the wires up. Get them right close together. Stick those down. That's too far down. Obviously, every more you put all these stickers up, the more sticky you're going to lose. Right. So I'll try and get them probably about half a centimetre. Right, they're not going to want to go. There we go. And I'm going to use the back of the tweezers and I'm going to really push that sticker in. I'm sorry if you didn't see that, but I've got that off center a bit, but I don't think it's going to matter. And I've really pushed that sticker in. I want that to stick. And that will probably take overnight before that really sets. So there you go. Let that LED's fallen out. So we're really going to need that sticker. And then avoid touching that. Let's say the longer you leave that, the stickier it'll get, to the point you won't be able to, or you shouldn't be able to lift it up. And remind me which one is 41. Oh, they're both 41M.
41
Okay, I've
M.
got my stickers confused now. Right, okay, so 41M is actually a sheet of stickers. So I've used the wrong sticker. So that should have stuck it down with that one. So we'll see how we go. But I will stick the headlight down with that, because that is definitely going to need it. And then that can go onto there. So I'll push that down. So this is the last chance we've got of removing that headlight. Now we've got that sticker down. And I'm going to use the back of my tweezers. And using the back of my tweezers because these are pointy tweezers, so I can do damage with them. And I'll just push that down. I'll work around any ups and downs. And there we go. So that's still got a bit of movement in it, but it's not going to fall out. Yeah, I can't lift that. I can't lift that with ease. So in fact, actually, I'm just going to push that underneath. Try and get some of the tape to stick to itself, perhaps. There we go. Okay, you guys happy with that? I think that's the best I can do it.
Yeah, I think it's so you can do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird how it's not a fit, a tight-ish fit, isn't it? Like,
Well, yeah, no, it's I think that's just got to stay in, because obviously once we've got it assembled, that's really loose. I can't resist. Sorry, guys. I think there's only really 2 screw bits I'm using on this build, isn't there? She says, discovering the wrong bit. Do you know what? As Yeah, I think that's screwed in as far as it'll go. That's not going to want to go anymore. Okay, saying that, that's a lot tighter. That is really tight now. But I think once we get the rest of it in, oh, look at that. That's really tight.
I
Hardly
think the
any movement
next
on
part,
there.
yeah, don't go too mad on that because the next
No.
part's going to reveal all.
Okay. So, yes. No. Right. Okay. Would you like to describe stage 8?
Hey,
Guys, we are nearly finished. It's like watching a surgeon. Oh, thank you. I think the thing is, though, Peter from Fleet, you want to put the effort in because we've spent so much money on this. I'm going to regret doing this. Is it 8.99 an issue or 7.99? 8.99. 8.99 plus 1.99 for issue 1 plus 4.99. I have spent £357 and 59 pence to date. I think I've got that much value out of it, but you want to keep it as nice as you can.
hmm. Okay, so uh,
Yeah,
step 8, take the support bar. Yeah, see, I thought the support bar was going on the back of that wing. Take the
yeah.
support bar 41J and fit it to the back of the grille frame 1A, fix in place with 2 red CM screws.
Okay.
And then it says inset, fit the peg. Oh, right, no, it's 2 different parts. So we'll do that bit first.
Okay. So do you want me to do this and then we'll go back and do the next bit?
Yeah, there's like 2 instructions in step 8. So,
Okay, no
um,
problems. Do you think that they went, oh God, this is part 5, this is page 5, we better hurry it up?
yeah,
Right,
it's
so
right.
I'm holding the bus like that, as per the magazine. I'm holding this with the little. You've got two little, not two little screw holes. They're going to be down, and there we go. Right, so we've got these two screw holes are going to be down, and you've got a little notch on this side. That's going to be away from me, and you see that this bit comes up, and that is going to go on the back of. Oh, look at that. That's perfect fit. So that's going to go in there. You're kind of looking at it and you think, well, that ain't going to work. And then all of a sudden you put it in and it's like, oh my God, that's perfect. Right. Okay. So as this is a metal part and it goes that way, I'm going to whap it before we put it in. I'm going to miss saying whap, except it's not whap, it's well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah. I didn't think of that.
We just keep calling it whap, don't we? That's probably, I would probably put a lot of people off going, what, whatever's that? Don't know. Give up. Right. Okay. So this is difficult to support because everywhere you touch is going to be fragile. Right. So, right. You can see the screw hole there. You might just need to wiggle it around. So as I've got this screw hole, I'm going to do that one first. But actually, pop your finger behind the screw hole. Don't worry about that side for now. Let's just get this one in. Get that roughly positioned. It is awkward, actually. I can see a lot of people struggling with that. Right, that's fine. So, so we're using red CM screws, and now I've run out of fingers. There's trouble with this build. You need 3 hands, each hand with 6 fingers on them. Right, there we go. Screw ready, and that's going to go in. Oh, there we go. It's kind of pulled it into place. So that's now in just enough to bite. So I do. One of the things I love about this Aurea is the fact that the screws stay where they put. If you put the right bit on. Right, so there's my hole lined up. You can't really see that, but right, and that's in just enough to bite. So now we'll have a look at this, and that is a support bar, isn't it? So I'm happy with that. So now I can go ahead and tighten it up. It's quite hard to support it. I would imagine that people who had large hands would probably find this a little bit easier. It's funny, one of my first jobs after I left college was I went to college to study catering, which included food service as well as catering for the industry. And I'm qualified to do silver service waitressing. So I'm quite used to having my hand really wide open because you'll balance a tray on your hand. Um, and the further you can open your hand, the larger and heavier tray you can hold because it adds support. Right, okay, that wants to stop there. Now, this one I'm actually struggling with. It just seems to want to screw forever. I've had this before. I had this on the radiator. So that's just going and going and going. But it is in. Yeah, that's definitely is in. So, aha, there we go. Now, I can screw that more, but I'm not going to. But that's not coming out. So I'm a little bit unsure about this. Must be a support for the bonnet because I can't see any logic with it.
Hmm.
So that's my only guess. But I'm worrying about that bonnet with this pipe. I can't visualize how it's happening, but yeah, it'll all come clear. So anyway, so
So next part, so the inset part, is you need to fit the peg on the handle 41H into the socket on the top of the cab frame 40A, fix in place with the clip 41I, which will allow it to move. So it's like a circlip.
yeah, okay. So I'm gonna start praying here because I can't see where that's going, and they haven't shown us on the.
Yeah, if
I'm
you look at
looking
the
for it on the
inset,
finished.
there's a line that goes across and highlights where it is on the build.
I'm looking. Yeah. I see it. Yes. Okay, so we're looking at it from the inside. It's so it's there.
Yes.
That's where the handle is. So, okay, I'm sure that makes sense to somebody. So the handle is going to come in from the inside, like so. Is that actually functional?
Yeah, it's supposed to move. I think that's what that clip's for. And then the yeah,
I think that will actually
41I,
move.
yeah, it will do, yeah. And then 41I, you push that black circlip
Oh no,
over
I've
the
just dropped
top.
it. I just dropped it.
Is it landed in the tray
Oh,
with the
yes.
handbrake?
Yeah. Whoa. Good job you got your eye on the ball, isn't it? Right. Okay. Is this the bit where people wish me luck?
Yeah, because I suppose if you get it wrong, it'll just ping.
Has anybody ever heard me swear before? Because I've got a feeling you will. Oh, okay, that's attempt two failed. Oh. Ah, got it. Please go in. Please go in. Oh, that's a tight fit, but that'll go in. So there you go. Third time lucky. Ha 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 ha. So you can't see my face right now, but I have a rather smug look on my face. Okay.
Brilliant.
But that was probably luck that I got it in the third time. Right. Okie dokie. So
And that is
can we
it.
have a look at the finished view? I don't know if it's an emergency escape because I can't imagine you having to climb through the engine, over the engine as an emergency when you've got a door to your right. So let me have a quick check. I'm going to reposition my pipe. I'll show that in a second.
Maybe, yeah. I think maybe it is right. Maybe it is the emergency exit because if anything happened and you tip your bus over,
Oh yes,
you wouldn't be able to get
yeah,
out.
but you'd get out. I don't know. Yeah, good point. Good point. Good point. I will consult my expert, other than you guys. Right. So looking at the I'm gonna flick between the two screens here. So looking at the top diagonal left one, that is. I think I'm gonna move that down a bit. No, that's not wanting to go. That's kind of there we go. Right. That can go down a bit, and I'm happy with that. And then looking at the diagonal right, I'm liking that. Again, we won't know the exact position of that until we hook it up to something. But I'm happy with that. Be careful here because this grill worries me. It's very, very fragile and flexible. So try not to hold it there. And now I've got no idea how I'm going to store this.
Right, well,
Um,
all I will say, it'd be rude not to try the bonnet on it.
oh, you're joking me, aren't you? Have you guys seen my desk? I'm going to make a confession here. That's the bit in my desk I hide up.
Mhm.
Right, okay, I will do it. Right, let me pop these bits away. So while I'm clearing up, shall we take a slight interlude and I don't know, maybe look at I don't know, a VW camper?
Yeah. So just for that, how is that white connector? Is that still on? Is that secure enough, or is
Yeah,
that likely to
that's
fall off?
fine. Hang on, we'll do it. We'll do a flick test. That's not coming off. Yeah, look. I'm giving it a light, reasonable pull.
Right.
And actually the sticker will come off before the connector.
Cool.
So I'm not going to pull that anymore. What I will do though is I just want to stick this loose cable down somewhere. In fact, actually I've got a better idea. I'm gonna pop it through the window and then close the window on it. So it's a little bit tidier. Obviously that's not going to be the final position. Right, so over to you.
Okay.
And then I'll
So
just get my screws tidied up.
I will move my camera to there. Hello. Right. Oh, the batteries are dying. This is my camper van that I was working on. I think I did mention it in a different a few weeks ago. Was it last week? And this
Yeah,
is
that
the
looks so
final.
good.
This is the final result now. So it's all 3D printed. Wheels came separately. I've installed the electronics, so we've got working headlights. The wing mirrors, I had to make these arms out of straight PLA and bend it because it didn't actually come with the arms, so that's why they look a bit funny. But yeah, I'm so happy with the result. And then I gave it a spray of clear lacquer just to give it the shine. You can see a bit of a shine on the wheels there.
Those wheels look smashing. I haven't seen those wheels before.
So yeah, and
Fleetwood J wants one.
yeah, I've already got
I
two orders, but
honestly,
it took me a week. The thing is, this camera is making it look really good, but up close, it's not quite as good as what you're seeing.
see you
Um,
talk yourself down too much,
no, I
Horlicks.
know, but
That I've seen videos on Facebook of it, and honestly, I think the camera's not doing it justice.
so yeah, that's how it is. And what I've done is I've put some because the top's loose, so I've got some really tiny magnets and just stuck them on the top so that the lid sticks on. And then inside, I've got the steering wheel. I haven't painted the inside yet, but also I've got a switch which you can just see there, and that is like the gear knob or representing the gear stick. So when you put it in first gear, the lights come on. So yeah, that is my latest project, and I've got an order for.
Awesome.
I've got two of these to do, but yeah, I'm really happy with the result
I think
for
Dave has just
first
actually
attempt.
sent what's the word, reflected my feelings. You've picked that up so quickly. I said before, Horlicks has been streaming on Twitch. I'll as of next week, what I'll do is I will link. I have Horlicks's link to his YouTube channel below in the description, but I'll add his Twitch channel. And he's been streaming quite a lot. And basically, the only thing Horlicks lacks, and it's not his fault, he lacks experience. He hasn't done it often. The more he does it, the better he'll get, the more comfortable he'll get. And but I would say that Horlicks is a better painter than I was at the stage that he's at, without a doubt.
Right.
But it looks brilliant.
So yeah, no, all was good. I did have. The only thing I would do differently. I had a bit of a meltdown inside because obviously it 3D prints the battery holders. So I've had to buy the springs and the connectors for the battery terminals. However, I hot glued them into place, and then I decided to then solder the wires onto those. But of course, I used hot glue and what with the PLA, which both melt at temperature. So I was trying to solder the wires on, and the hot glue was melting as well as the PLA, and it was all sagging, and oh, it was a right nightmare. So the only thing I'd do differently is I'd solder the wires on before I hot glue it into the model. Um, but it was just a beginner's thing, you know. I didn't know, I didn't think about it at the time. So, but I've learned from it. So now I know next time I build one of these what to do. So
Okay,
yeah,
guys, are you ready to say wow? Oh God, right. So what I've been doing while you've been talking is I've been trying to get the cab on. It's looking awesome, but it's actually quite a tight fit. I may have done it the wrong way. I'm trying to slide that into there. It could be that we put the driver's cab in before we put the frame on, but
oh,
that
you're
is
doing the whole thing.
roughly, that is looking pretty fab. I'm really liking that. I'm trying to get. I'm sorry I can't get the good angles, and it is upside down. But that. Ah, it all makes sense now. Yes. Okay, this pipe, I can see now that it's going to go onto the engine somewhere. There, I can, right. This pipe is actually going to angle forwards because you can see the engine. See if I can get a close up. Right, you've got a little pipe there that comes out of the radiator. Don't know if you can see it there. And that's obviously where that's going to go. So that's going to need turning like so. And it's going to go, I'm not going to actually fix it, but that'll go something like that. And then bonnet will go over the top. And now I can actually see this little bit here. That is definitely going to be engine bonnet support. So that is going to go something like that. So that is looking one. In fact, actually, what I'll do is I'll move it around. There we go. That's looking amazing. I'm really liking that. So I'm sorry that I can't get better angles. Actually, I might be able to. Now, see, we're upside down. There we go. You're gonna have to stand on your head to look at that. But and this weighs an absolute ton. Absolutely, really heavy. So yeah, it's really, and it's. I'll be honest with you. That apart from that little handle, which was fiddly, that wasn't actually that bad.
Nice.
But I think the secret weapon, and I say this every week, and I probably sound boring, but I think the secret weapon is patience. It's as easy as that. Just got to be slow, patient. Right. So you've shown off your 3D build. Can I show off mine now?
Yes.
Can you see any progress? I've changed the shelves around a little bit. I might swap them over. So this shelf there might go there, or the positioning, because the bus, I'm going to clear this shelf off. The bus is going to go here. I've already measured it. This is how high the bus is going to be. Oh, I keep getting my headphones caught. So I think I'm about average body part size. That's how big the bus is going to be. Now, when I sit like this, I'm hiding most of that up. So I might swap them around. This is roughly the size that the R2 is going to be up to the top. So I have been working on the head. I have had so many failed prints. It's been quite demoralizing. The dome, to give you an idea of the size of the dome, there it is on me. It's so big. I think if I'd have known it was going to be this big, I probably wouldn't have started it. But now that I've started, I've spent about 50 quid on parts. But
Yeah.
this dome comes in 6 pieces. This piece has printed off perfect. This
Oh, it was
piece
empty.
has printed off perfect. This piece failed, as you can see, almost at the end. These 3 pieces all failed at various places. This one I've just tonight completed a reprint. It finished about 10 minutes before the end of the stream. We've had power cuts. We've had the octopi failing. There was something else as well that made it fail. Oh, I had one piece that fell over. I think it was this one. It actually didn't stick. And that was down to bed leveling, really. But this one, it really did need. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually warped. But this piece is going to go in. I've ordered bolts for it. And the bit that I'm finding quite exciting, I've now done the top. So they're going to go together like so, and they will, this is actually quite heavy, they will sit on top like so, and now the bit dome becomes so much more recognizable. The next stage, I've just broken it. Oh, that's lucky. I've just snapped the piece I've just snapped this piece, but that one. So that's fine. That's coming out and going anyway. Um, the next stage, you've got two rings that goes underneath. One is blue and one is silver. I'm actually printing the bottom ring next because I'm already loaded up the silver. And then these two pieces, these three pieces, I'm actually going to try printing. I'm going to actually print from about there upwards, and then I'm going to sand them down until they're the right size. And I'm going to stick those on from the top, try and weld those two together because there's quite a lot of money there. But I don't know if you can hear that. Really solid. It's only 10% infill. But once the rings are on, then it's just a case of sanding it down and painting it. They're all bolted together. I don't know if you can see. Each piece is bolted with 3 nuts and bolts. And then print wise, that will be the dome finished. And then what I will be doing is doing the hard work, which is sanding, filling, sanding, priming, and painting, or
Yeah.
something like that. At this stage, I'm thinking about the electronics, but I don't, I don't know enough about electronics. I've got to learn. So, but what shocked me was I'm going to try and do that for less than 1,500 quid. Sounds a lot, but when you think that your R2D2 is 800 quid, something like that for the full build.
I think it's a bit more.
Bit more. Okay, it
I'm
was
not, I'm
100
not
parts.
well,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
it'll be about 800-900 quid. Now, my first thought is this is twice the size. It's actually not twice the size. It's 8 times the size because it's twice the width, twice the depth, and twice the height. So 2 times 2 times 2, that's 8 times the size. Obviously, the plastic I'm printing off myself. Um, I forget who does it. D'Agostini, they can obviously command discounts for having it mass produced, but I think to build it, but it's probably going to take me a year to 2 years to do. Obviously, it depends how much I'm working. But if I build that without any electronics and do a good job, have a guess how much it's worth. There's a company selling it advertised as a statue, but it looks like a completed model to me. Have a guess. Without any electronics. Chris Campling said it's cost 900 quid. Do you want to have a guess, Horlicks?
Um, God, I wouldn't know where to start. It could be anything, couldn't it?
Pick a number out of the air. Let's just say, right, okay, if I sold it for the same price this company does and it sells, let's say it cost me 2 grand to make. Without the electronics, 6.5 grand. Can you believe that?
Really?
Now, with the electronics, now there was someone come into one of the forums. Now it's not a buying and selling forum. It's actually a helping to build forum. It's the Astromech Club, UK R2D2 owners, builders club, various companies, but there's various sub branches. But someone came into the forum and they basically obviously didn't read the forum rules, and they said, "Oh, I haven't got the skills to make it. Could someone make one for me?" You know, and someone said, "Oh, that's not actually what we do in this forum. But if you, I couldn't believe this answer. They said, if you look on eBay, you might be able to pick one up as cheap as 20 grand. You believe that with all the electronics? So maybe I've got a new job, maybe if I could manage for a year and make three, that's 60 grand, that's 56 grand, 54 grand profit in a year. That's not a bad little wage, is it? And then, of course, once you've built it and it all works, you then get invited to go to shows and things. So you get appearance fees. So if you do build a good one, you'll get more shows to go to. Or maybe if you build two or three, you could take your collection down. So every Saturday, I could be invited down to some convention or whatever. Um, yeah, Chris, BBA is coming next. I've got two projects I'm going to do next, which I probably going to do the BB-8 next after I've done this. I might not, because the thing is, will BB-8 still be a good project to do in about 2 or 3 years' time? Um, but yeah, no, VLT290 Ian has said, how about a Dalek? That is going to be my project. I want to do a full size Dalek. Right now, I think electronically a Dalek is going to be easier because it has less functions. But I want to do a Dalek that I can actually sit in and ride. And I want to take it to round the corner every year we have Dragon Days, and I want to take this Dalek down there, and I want to ride it from my house to
Mm.
Dragon Days, telling everyone exterminate, exterminate. That's all I want to do. Um, what's happening about the paint? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Right, the paint job that I'm starting on. I'm now any week now. I'm going to start doing the chassis. Um, what I wanted to do was before I start stripping all the paint, I couldn't see the point in stripping um, just a little bit and then stripping the next little bit. So now it looks like we've completed the basic chassis. I'm going to get on and do that, but I'm going to do a couple of little experiments like priming it over the paint and see how that turns out. But yeah, I'll be getting on with that soon, and I'll have loads to do because there's so many issues. And then once we got all of the body work in, well, I won't do all of the body work. I'll do maybe the lower section, and I'm just trying to section it off bit by bit. So I am a little bit behind. But yeah, Chris Campbelling said about the Dalek, all you need is lights and a voice modulator. Yeah, and obviously the motor to drive it. That's about it, really. But compared to the R2, it's got so many functions. And I'm even thinking about how to do a fire extinguisher. So I'm thinking maybe if I can use an e-cigarette mechanism and then get it to do the vapor and push it. But yeah, there's so many things I can do. All I'm going to do at the moment is just focus on building it
Mm.
and making it look really nice. But and I've got my new toy today. It arrived today. This is what happens when I'm ill. I sit in bed and I order stuff from Amazon. And so, really, I can't afford to be ill because I just can't afford it. And I wedged that in so hard I can't get it out. Oh no. There we go. So I have bought myself a Black & Decker Palm Sander, and it's got a little extension on it to do. It's got to be screwed on, but it's got like a little tail on the front, and it even comes with Brillo pads. So apparently they're polishing, but I think they look like the ones you do your washing up with. So I might use it to wash my dishes up. So, but 20 quid this cost me. Buggered if I'm going to be sitting there with a bit of sandpaper and sanding the whole thing down 4 times. So, yeah. So there you go, guys. So that is week 2 of my R2. Right, will you be showing off your bedroom on YouTube? I try not to because oh, I like that, Chris. If I'm inside, I won't need a motor. I will. I'm lazy. I won't. I don't like. Oh, so I suppose I could put pedals on it, couldn't I? And pedal. Um, Full size Iron Man walking about with no man inside. Theoretically possible. Oh yeah, I mentioned you just before the stream, Chris. I was saying to Horlicks about how I'm really jealous because you've got that Lego Technic Bugatti Chiron. Um, yeah, I am so jealous. I'm really enjoying my Lego, and we were
Yeah,
going to get that, weren't we, Horlicks?
yeah. We were, well, yeah. It wasn't quite going to be the real
Yeah, I
McCoy,
mean,
but
we've only got two problems. One is we don't earn enough money, and the second problem is what little we earn, we tend to spend. So yeah, I don't think it's coming. What's coming up next week? Oh God, I'm so sorry, I forgot. Right, so next week, um, I think next week I've just done next week, haven't I? Without the screws. So it says in the description, the driver's cab and front wings are fitted to the subframe of the Routemasters. Wiring is added along the length of the subframe. So I'm guessing my guess last week was we weren't going to get many many parts. We got probably about 20 more parts than I was expecting. Um, but it looks like we're really not going to get many pieces next week. We looks like we've already got the wiring. It says wiring is added along the length of the subframe. We've already got the driver's cab. We've already got the front wings. So I'm going to guess we're going to just get a few packs of screws. So that's fine, actually. I'm quite happy with that. But
there's going to be a lot to
uh,
do, though, isn't there? Like we're actually bringing it together, so
yeah, yeah.
that'd be brilliant.
I think it's going to be one of those issues where people will go, oh, well, that ain't much, But once they actually get on with it, there's a lot of work to do. I think you had a couple of issues like that with your um, DeLorean, didn't you? You didn't get
Mm.
that many parts, but there was so much to do. So, excuse me, smoking.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Um,
Like with the R2 as well, like Chris was saying about it costing 900 quid. It might cost more. There seems to be an issue at the moment with the batteries, because we have to buy our own batteries for it.
right.
And they're like they're similar to e-cigarette batteries, but they're slightly different. And you
Yeah.
need to be so careful about where you're buying them from because obviously of fakes and things. And they've
Yes.
sort of left us to just get on with it. And we're struggling to, well, I'm struggling to
Can
find.
you see many people coming a cropper with that then?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people on the case trying to hunt down a good source to get them from, but
Yes.
eBay is a
You don't want to
no-go
buy
area.
expensive, but you want quality, don't you?
Yeah, so it's just
So
gonna have to
I
be.
can see many people going through the Chinese market. Right.
Because apparently they
Adrian
were
has
going to bring in a flyer, but apparently they're not going to do that until they might put a link in issue 100. But that's when the model's going to be finished. So everyone's going to want
right.
to get going and try it out, not have to
Yeah, of course
wait.
you are. Yeah.
So I think people are on the case, but eBay's a no go, and
Yeah,
Amazon.
I really well. It's funny that I don't trust eBay anymore, but I've now found a couple of sellers that I do like. But I'm buying things like nuts and bolts.
Mm.
Um, Adrian has asked me to look at RM41B. Do you mean that part
No,
piece 41B?
Adrian means the picture I've got. We've just screen shared.
Oh right, okay. So this one
Yeah, the one the actual image for next
for
week,
next week.
the scan. That's
Yeah.
what he's named the scan.
Sorry. Oh, he's called it RM41B on his scan, is he?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, gotcha. Okay. So yeah, it's I think next week is going to be, I mean, if there's a lot of parts, brilliant. If there isn't, then but I think there's going to be a lot to do. So, um I am going to have to end it there because it's 10:15. Did you notice my alarm didn't go off tonight? Because I've remembered to disable it because I don't do bins anymore.
No.
So I'm not unhappy about. I might actually be moving soon. I had a bit of a disagreement. I'm getting a bit fed up with things like the power cuts. So I did when we had power cuts before. Sorry, let me change my camera. Uh, do me a favour, Horlicks, and just speak.
Hello.
And
Am I
again, there
working?
we go. Right, that's fine. I wanted the cameras so that they flick between us as we speak. Um, yeah, we had some power cuts a few weeks ago, and it caused damage to my printer that's cost me about 50 quid to repair. And I've asked the landlord to consider giving me a bit of a rebate on my rent. I mean, half of my failed prints are down to power cuts, and I reckon, as an estimate, I've lost about 25 quid's worth of filament. And he's not even bothered responding, and we've had other issues. And I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't be saying this on air, but I really don't care. We had people come round during the week to cut the gas off, and we have gas central heating. So to get round it, the landlord's given us all electric, 2,000-watt electric heaters. So that's another 20,000 watts running through the house in the evening. And surprise, surprise, the electric keeps tripping again. So I've just said I've had enough. I absolutely love this room. This room is absolutely massive for the price. But there just comes a point when um, you gotta feel safe and you gotta feel confident in your house. So there may be a move on the cards, but we'll see what he can work out. Um, so yeah, Johnson says he's not looking forward to next week's build. Any particular reason why, Johnson? I think I feel that all of the builds that we've done on this, it's just a case of taking your time. Um, some people have had genuine struggles, I admit. Maybe because they're disabled or something, and they can't actually manage it. Uh, but I find slow yourself down. How many sections did we have this week? We had 8 sections. So if you like, for example, this week, if you manage one, two, and three fine in one night, and then section four you were struggling with, leave it for the night. So do section four on day two, section five, day three, four, five, six. So you could probably do that over 6 days. Um, it's just really take your time. Um, I don't know if they said power cuts, but were they talking perhaps about the national grid? Um, so yeah, sorry, Chris. Yeah, you found some batteries for the R2. That's good. I presume you'll be putting that in the relevant forum.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you posting a link or I don't know? It just found these batteries for the R2. I was waiting for a link. I wasn't sure if it would let you put one in or not.
Oh, sorry, I've got an announcement to make, and I apologise. I should have said this at the beginning of the show. Uh, they at work we've got a rota change, which I'm not happy about. Which means some of my shifts are now finishing later. Next week I finish work at 5 past 8, so I won't be home until 10 past 8 at the earliest. So next week's show, I've got no option. I'm going to have to delay it till 8:30. So it's going to be a half an hour later start. But I won't be able to extend the show because obviously I think I'm still going in at like 6, 7 in the morning. I'm really hating the shifts, and I'm actually having a word with work. I doubt they'll do anything because you can't. If everybody came forward and said I need this, that, and the other, you couldn't possibly sort it all out. But my manager's lovely. My ops man, she's absolutely brilliant, and I've so what was that? I think it's her RCD tripping. Oh, about the electric cuts. Yeah, so it might well be that she's allowing me to, because obviously she knows how important Wednesdays is to me. And she also knows I do the company favors when it doesn't inconvenience me too much. So, but as it stands next week, I'm going to have to say it's going to start at 8:30. So I do apologize, guys. Um, did
No, it
that
didn't.
post?
It didn't, Chris. But
Right, maybe you
Facebook
can't
me.
post links.
Yeah, send me a link to my Facebook. That'd be good. Great.
Right, I'm just going to try something. Ignore this. Right, I've just put a test link. Can you guys see that?
I suppose it's because you're the
That's what
sort
I'm
of show.
thinking. If Chris sends you the link, and then because you're a mod here as well, aren't you? So if could you just type a pretend link for me, please, Horlicks?
I'll just do.
Just anything. I just put www.test.com. It hasn't come up as a link.
There you go.
Brilliant. Right. So if Chris, if you could post, it looks like if you're not a moderator or owner, you can't post links. So if you could give him the link, and then Horlicks can post that link in the chat. Um, oh, also there is. I've got to find this now. There was a question in last week's comments which I would like to address. I really should actually address comments from the previous week. So I apologise that I haven't been. I'm just trying to find it. Sorry. Done all this in the wrong order. Right. So Nigel Branthwaite has put, from what I understand, LT removed the dustbin hubs in 1975 from all of their buses that had them. That was in reference to the dustbin lids that we mentioned. But Stephen Whiting has put, hi Penny and Horlicks, I broke one of the parts while working on issue 29. I have sent 4 emails to Hachette since 18th of September. I'm still waiting for a reply. Do you know the best phone number for talking to someone at Hachette? As a coincidence, yes, I do. So I will post that telephone number to the chat. Now, what I've done is I've gone on to the Hachette website, Hachette Partworks, and then from there I've clicked on Classic Routemasters. And right near the bottom, there's a link. It says About Us, Contact Us, Frequently Asked Questions. Click on the Contact Us, and that gives you a telephone number which begins 0330. And I'm posting, where's the chat gone? I've lost the chat. Here it is. Won't pop out. Sorry, I've just lost the chat and it's not loading up. There we go. Right, so the best number that I have found is this telephone number there, 0333 300 1510. If they don't respond to good afternoon, Build the Route Master, just say to them, is this the department that deals with Route Master? And if they say no, say, could I have the telephone number for the relevant people? But I'm pretty sure that's, let me check my phone, because I've rung them a few times. So if I start to type the number, 0333 300 1510. And it's a number that I have dialed frequently. So I think that is a Route Master number. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think everything's out of stock. Has anyone else noticed that the actual site doesn't seem to be updated anymore? If you look at the Route Master page, the last issue that they have on the site is issue 32. So they've not updated for about 9 weeks. Um, but also Facebook, they're not putting anything on their page. Have you noticed that, Horlicks?
To be honest, I haven't looked at the. I haven't been on the website or anything.
It's
Oh,
yeah, don't seem to update. They used to put interesting snippets and this, that, and sometimes they put little bits of things that you wouldn't find in the magazines. Um, and obviously any queries. And I don't know if people have been abusing it and they just gone, right, that's it, we're not going to bother. But um, that I'm a little bit disappointed that they seem to have lost the support on it. So maybe I should email them and say, can I have access to your Facebook group, and I'll help you out. Um, right, so it looks like if you've got any repairs to do on your engine, which I believe I have, I thought I had a piece broke, but I can't see it. That's interesting. Okay, I thought I had a piece of my bus that broke, which okay, so ignore that then. But if you've got any repairs to do to it, next week is the time to do it, or this week, because that looks like next week we are going to be covering the engine up, and I can actually see a little push fit bit that's fallen out, I think. So right, okay. So do we have anything to add? Any more questions? I've lost my chat again. There we
yeah, I
go.
did that earlier.
Everybody happy with the build? Um, oh, Kevin's been waiting. So Kevin Peachy has been waiting for issues 23 and 25 for 3 months. And Stuart Sullivan says, yeah, it never changes. Yeah, it's the only thing I'm disappointed with this build. The only support that we seem to get is from each other, which is great. Don't get me wrong, but isn't it bad that that's what it's had to come to? Because if we weren't a great community, so many of us would actually suffer. I get help from other people, I help other people, and I think most of us can say that we get help and we help.
Mm.
So yeah, there we go. Lucas1945 has said I watched it, but nothing happened, so I found yours, so I watched that instead. And it it's a shame that Lucas that you've got to watch mine for help. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate you watching, and the more participation we have, the better the show. But when it's a case of that's your only option, that's really sad.
Mm.
So anyway, I don't really want to end on a negative note. I should try and leave on a positive note. So I am predicting loads to do next week. Um, Maybe the fact that we might get loads of parts. I didn't think we were going to get loads this week. But that might serve as a bit of advantage because do we really want loads of parts if there's loads to do already? Um, and yeah, so I am now. I do this every week. I'm like, oh, next week's going to be brilliant, and then next week comes, and I'm like, that was brilliant, but next week's going to be even better, and then next week comes, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait till next week. So what am I going to be like by issue 129? I'm going to be like, oh, I want to know. So, oh, your DeLorean, not your DeLorean, your R2's nearly finished, isn't it?
Yes, nearly.
What's about 6, 7 issues to go?
Yeah, I didn't actually have a video this week. I don't think one went live on Friday, last Friday, if anyone may have
Right.
noticed. I
Well,
didn't
I've
have
been
them.
watching I've been watching a few of them, and it looks like motors and things are coming in now. Is your dome going to rotate?
Yes.
Oh, I'm really intrigued by that then, because
So am I, because I don't even know how it's going to work yet. We haven't even touched that
well,
yet, and we're so near the end.
oh, I'm so trying to finish the show, but I can't. I learned a new thing today. I don't know how it's going to work, but it's a thing called a slip ring. And apparently, what it is, because with mine, any electronics in the head You've got electronics in the head, and you've got electronics in the body. Now, obviously, you're going to have wires come up through the middle somewhere. Now, with a head that can rotate 360 degrees, if you've got wires coming up, then what's going to happen is it's going to twist those wires and eventually they'll snap. You get any wires and you just keep twisting them, they'll eventually go.
Mm.
And apparently what a slip ring does is you'll have two sections, one will fit in the other, and there'll be metal contact, bushes or something, and then you'll have the bottom one will be powered, and then the top one will be powered. Will have wires come off, and the power transfers through the contact from the two. So the
Yeah,
fact they're always in contact, and apparently that's how it's going to work.
that's a bit
Um,
like a horn on the steering wheel of a car.
yeah,
That sort
someone
of
did say
vibe.
that. Yeah, I mean it's a very strange concept to people, some people, but the horn and the little fidget spinner on the side, the indicator that no one ever uses. Um, Sorry, that was a little dig at drivers there. Um, so yeah, that's why I'm taking a big interest now in the part work R2. In fact, it might even be beneficial for me to actually buy the part work. Although I'll have a model that won't be as good as I hope it won't be as good as mine. But there'll be a lot of technology and stuff that I can look at. But then I got the forums as well. I'm so early into this stage and there's so many questions. It might all become clear as I progress. And
Yeah,
again, one of the things I say a lot with the Routemaster is take everything one stage at a time. Do one bit, then do the next, take your time. And here I am with the R2. I'm trying to learn everything at once, all in one go. And of course, it's not working, is it? Um, so yeah, that'll be interesting. Right, guys. So I really am going to have to end the show now because it's 10:30.
yes, I need to
Um,
go and have something to eat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you always eat. I'm going to bed and you're eating, and I'm like, oh, I was saying that last night. I sat there in bed and I'm like, I fancied beef. I knew I had some sliced beef. I just sat there in bed eating sliced beef, which is probably odd, isn't it? So,
Sliced
anyway,
beef. Do you dunk it in
sliced beef.
horseradish?
No, I didn't actually. I
I
don't
love that.
trust horseradish. It's made by Coleman's. So, right, guys. So, thank you so much for a fantastic show. I didn't see the peak numbers, but I know we hit. Well, we've got 35 watching now.
I think we hit
That's
about
absolutely
54.
54. That is fantastic. Um, yeah, I'm absolutely amazed by that. So, thank you so much for making this such a great show. So, we're now hitting more people than the part number. Do you think we'll hit 130 before we finish the build?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Right, guys. So, thank you so much for watching. I am genuinely going to end the show now. I can't see any more questions coming up. I'll have a very quick check
Oh,
just in case I've missed anything. I don't think I have. If I have missed anything, I apologize. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I'll just let Horlicks say goodbye, but you guys take care.
yeah, lovely. See you later, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your Halloween evening, whatever you're doing. Well, apart from watching the show. Um, and yeah, I'll see you next week.
Take care, guys. Bye
Thanks.
bye.
Bye bye.